MMA is the most random sport in the world. We all know this, and you know it. Every single fight night and every single pay-per-view, what seems to be a massive favourite ends up losing in the first round by KO. And what seems to be a massive underdog will somehow go all the way to even potentially winning the belt in their division. With UFC 300 this weekend, I was going to do my predictions, but instead I'm going to spin a wheel on every single fight, all 13 fights, and I'm going to justify, or try to at least, every single one. I'm going to spin a wheel, randomize it, whoever it lands on, I have to justify why they win, and we'll come back to this and see if the wheel is more accurate than my actual predictions, because I know a lot of these are going to be someone that I wouldn't have picked to win the fight, but watch them do it anyway, because MMA is the most random sport in the world. Let's go. First on the card, we have Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. Let's spin, and we get Deiveson Figueiredo. Figgy. Okay, I would have picked him anyway, so we can deal with this. In this matchup, I do have Deiveson Figueiredo winning by round 2 KO. I just think he has all the momentum in the world. This is his light division. The weight cut is no longer hard for him. And I think while Garbrandt is slicker on the feet, and if he uses his grappling, has a chance in this matchup, I just don't trust in the punch resistance and the iron and the glass chin of Cody Garbrandt. And I do believe Deiveson Figueiredo is going to win this one by round 2 KO. So for this one, the wheel agrees with me. Jim Miller versus Bobby Green is up next, and we are going to spin Jim Miller. Again, I would have picked him, so let's go. I just think that Jim Miller, despite however old he is, 67 or whatever he is, still has a lot of his testosterone left. And whereas Bobby Green, we essentially saw all his testosterone, and probably more, i.e. his brain cells, get taken out of him in his last fight against Jalen Turner. For that reason alone is enough for me to pick Jim Miller to win this fight. I'm going to go with Jim Miller, 29-28 decision, unanimous, and yeah, Jim Miller completes the story. UFC 100, UFC 200, and now UFC 300. Next up, we have Marina Rodriguez versus Jessica Andrade. I'm going to make this one quick, and we are going to spin Jessica Andrade. Interesting. Right, I'll be real. I would not have picked Jessica Andrade to win this. I actually think Marina Rodriguez is going to win, but the wheel picked Jessica Andrade, so I'm going to pick Jessica Andrade. And if I'm trying to justify reasons, I think she is the more physically dominant athlete. There's one big reason why I think she could win this one. I'm not going to mention it, but I think you know the reason why Jessica Andrade has a major advantage over Marina Rodriguez. But yeah, sure. I'm going to go Jessica Andrade. Unanimous decision. No, split decision, 29-28. We are going to spin that wheel one more time for the final early prelim. And it is going to land on Renato Money Mike Moicano. Interesting. Again, I don't think Moicano can stand with Turner. I think he gets knocked out in the first round. But the wheel picked Moicano, so we're going to stick with him. Moicano can actually win this one though, if I'm thinking of reasons to pick him. I think we've seen Turner get out-grappled. Gamrot was able to out-grapple him. Gamrot's a better grappler than Moicano, but Gamrot doesn't have a finishing ability on the ground like Moicano does. And we've seen Jalen Turner get out-grappled by the likes of Matt Favola, who I don't think is as good as a grappler as Renato Moicano. So Renato Moicano might take a beating on the feet for the first minute or so. Might get dropped even. But I think he'll be able to find the back in a crazy scramble in the first round. I'm going to go Renato Moicano, round 1, rear naked choke, lock it in. Let's go. Hopefully this happens too. The first prelim is up, and we are going to spin this one, and it is going to land on Diego Lopez. I think Diego Lopez wins this one. I'm going to go with a decision win here. I think he's got momentum on his side. He's got pop behind the shots. Sadiq Yusuf, just if you look at the way he takes shots sometimes, I don't think he's got the best chin in the world. And yeah, I just think the momentum, the occasion will. I think Diego Lopez seems to be a fighter that will thrive in that pressure. I'm going to go with the Diego Lopez. 29-28 decision. Again, I don't think he will finish Sadiq. I think Sadiq's good enough to go to a decision here. Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison is up next, and we are going to spin on. Please don't tell me Holly Holm. Okay, it's landed on Holly Holm. Okay, I've got to somehow convince myself and you that she wins. Okay, let's go, I guess. Yeah. Kayla Harrison. He's gonna lose this one. Holly Holm, the age, the experience. Kayla Harrison has been crushing cans, and Holly Holm is totally going to outpoint her on the feet, and is going to keep it at distance in the worst fight of UFC 300, and is going to win a boring 30-27 decision over Kayla Harrison. Holly Holm decision. Yes, I totally believe this one. Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar is up next, and this one I'm glad I'm spinning a wheel for because I have no idea. And it's landed on Aljamain Sterling. Okay, this one's interesting. I really don't know who I would have picked in this fight, so I'm kind of glad I did this. If I'm making an argument for Sterling, it's just that Kattar hasn't. Let's be real, Kattar is coming off an injury. It's been around 2 years now. It was a bad injury too, and I just think he also hasn't fought the level of grappler that Aljamain Sterling is. I think Aljamain Sterling is big enough to fit into a featherweight frame. I don't think he's going to be outmatched here, even if he is slightly smaller than Kattar. And I think he's going to be able to find the takedowns, find a jiu-jitsu game, and just prove that bantamweight skill is just a step above featherweight skill. And is going to get himself a round 2. No, it's Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to go with the Aljamain Sterling unanimous decision, 30-27. Yes, 30-27. We are going to spin again for the final prelim of the night between Yuri Prochazka and Alexander Rakic, and it's going to land on Yuri. Okay, let's do this one. Again, I don't know who I would have picked in this fight, but if I'm making the case for Yuri, again, Rakic, similar to Kattar, coming off an injury, being around 2 years, was a bad leg injury, has been out for a long time, and I just think Yuri isn't going to have taken that much damage in his last fight, despite it being a KO loss, and I think the pace, the pressure, the power of Yuri is going to crumble Rakic, who may be winning the fight until he's not. I'm going to go with a round 3 KO for Yuri Prochazka in this one. And this one I actually kind of do believe. So yes, thank you Wheel for proving me kind of right up until this point at least. On to the main card now, and if this spins onto who I think it will spin on, I'm going to get... yeah, Bo Nickel totally loses this one. Yeah. Cody Brundage, yeah, he's gonna win this one. Yeah. Yeah, Cody Brundage. He's gonna win. The wheel said it. Listen, the wheel said it. And have crazier things happened than Cody Brundage beating Bo Nickel? Probably not. No, I think it probably would be the craziest thing ever. But hey, Bo Nickel has fought cans his whole career. Brundage will defend the takedowns, and he will get himself a round 1 KO, I guess. Because he's totally winning this one. This isn't a mismatch. Yeah, the wheel's correct on this one. Yeah, I'm cooked. Right, on to the next one. My favourite fighter in the UFC right now. Is it going to land on Charles Oliveira? It is going to land on Charles Oliveira. The wheel is cooking. I just don't think Arman Tsarukyan, while elite, I don't think he's that next level. It's the same fight as when we've seen Benoit Saint-Denis, a hyped up prospect, goes against that older generation in Dustin Poirier, gets chinned. Rafael Fiziev, the new generation, goes against the old generation in Justin Gaethje, gets chinned. And it seems like the only people that can beat these old generation guys are that generation. The only people that can beat the Gaethjes, the Poiriers, the Oliveiras are themselves. And I think this is just going to be another case here. I think Oliveira's going to win this. He's more well-rounded, more dangerous. Can Tsarukyan win? Potentially, if he grinds out a decision, racks up control time, potentially. I just think Oliveira is too dangerous, too destructive, and I'm going to go with a Charles Oliveira round 1 KO. I think if he wins, it has to be in the first round. I don't think it has to be in the first round, but I think if he wins, it will be in the first round. So yeah, because just his style, there's no way he wouldn't win by round 1 KO. If I think what's going to happen happens. Charles Oliveira, round 1 KO. Please. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway for the BMF belt is up next. The best fight on the card and potentially the best fight of the year. And we get Justin Gaethje. Is the wheel cooking on this one? Because I don't think it is. When this fight first got announced, I did originally have Justin Gaethje winning this. But as I've done my research, as I've watched it, as I've just watched it and analysed it from a stylistic matchup, I've had Holloway these past few weeks. But I guess the wheel picked Gaethje, so if we're going with Justin Gaethje winning, it could happen. It very well could happen. I think he is the favourite, and he is the favourite for a reason. I think the leg kicks could potentially work. Holloway has been beaten by leg kicks, albeit, in my opinion, a better leg kicker in terms of the technique and speed by Volkanovski, whereas Gaethje's is more powerful. But I think if you're picking Gaethje to win at the wheel IC, I think you have to do by decision. I can't see Gaethje KOing Holloway, despite Gaethje having power. Holloway's chin's too good, and I think Gaethje, if Holloway can land 10 shots, Gaethje can land 4. But Gaethje can win that combination just due to the power and impact of those shots. So I think he will probably be, in the majority of the rounds here, will be outstruck by Holloway. But I think the impact, the power from Justin Gaethje would have put enough damage on Holloway to the point where it balances out, if not puts him above Holloway on the judges' scorecard. So I'm going to go with a Justin Gaethje 48-47 close, pretty close 5-rounder. I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje 48-47 decision in a fight of the year contender for sure. We have the Old China co-main event in this next one, and this wheel is going to land on Yan Xiaonan. Okay, I definitely would not have picked this one. Again, the whole point of this video was just to see how random MMA truly is, and if this random wheel literally does pick majority of the winners. I don't think Yan Xiaonan wins this fight at all, but who knows, if it happens, it happens. I can't really make an argument for her winning, despite the fact that I guess it's a derby. You know, they're both Chinese, so yeah, it can be that kind of civil war kind of thing where Yan Xiaonan just turns up for this one fight and it's the best performance of her career. But yeah, other than that, I don't really give Zhang Weili. I don't really give Yan Xiaonan that big of a chance. Yan Xiaonan, I'll sack it. A random KO in the second round, I'll go with Yan Xiaonan round 2 KO. I don't think she can definitely win a decision. We are on to the main event of UFC 300 between Pereira and Hill, and we are going to land on, surprisingly, the man that I would have picked to win this fight, Alex Pereira. Oh. Again, with this one, I disagree with the wheel. I think Hill will win this one by round 2 KO for my actual prediction. I think Pereira's goofy striking style, Hill's slick enough boxing for light heavyweight, is good enough to catch Pereira at some silly, weird, goofy angle and KO him out of nowhere. Similar to the Johnny Walker KO, but less brutal, because Pereira has a better chin than that chinless. Okay, never mind. But Pereira can definitely win this. There's definitely an argument. Hill does not have the best footwork. If you watch back his fight with Ovin Simbro, he was getting his leg destroyed, and that's OSP, who's old at the time too. Hill's leg is there to be taken. Also, Hill does lean with his head a lot. He doesn't have the best of defense himself. He does stand tall at times, and his chin is there to be hit. So I can see that left hook being there for Alex Pereira. I'm gonna go with the Alex Pereira round 2 KO. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pereira round 2 KO. Chopping the legs of Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill landing a good combination, putting the pressure on, and then Pereira catching Jamal Hill and putting him out, and especially after a long layoff that Jamal Hill has been on, coming off an injury. Yeah, I'm gonna go Alex Pereira round 2 KO. Mad little scenes to end the card, and yeah, that is the wheels predictions for UFC 300. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. That's the random predictions for UFC 300. Do I believe a lot of these? No, that's what I think is going to happen in this card, because MMA, you can't use logic to pick this sport. We've seen it time and time again. Hopefully the card delivers, as I think it will. Please follow my socials, get out my Twitter, I tweet there every single day. Get out my TikTok too. And yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you at the event. We're going live for it, and the review after the channel. See ya. Also, how's Cody Brundage in the main card of UFC 300? What the hell is that about?